For months, Mr. Lee hadn't slept through a single night. At 68, he was used to the usual aches of aging: stiff joints, slower mornings, dimming vision. But what wore him down most wasn't pain, it was the endless trips to the bathroom. Every night was the same. He'd fall asleep, only to wake an hour later with an urgent need to urinate. Sometimes four, even five times before dawn. The constant waking left him exhausted, foggy, and irritable. He stopped driving at night, stopped meeting friends early, and began napping in his chair like an old man who'd given up. Doctors told him it was common: prostate enlargement, age, bladder sensitivity. He tried everything they suggested: reduced water intake before bed, medications to relax the bladder, herbal teas. Nothing worked. One pill gave him dizziness, another left his mouth so dry he could barely swallow. "You'll just have to live with it," his urologist said with a shrug. But one morning, while reading the newspaper at his favorite cafe, he overheard two elderly men talking at the next table. One of them, a retired pharmacist, was telling his friend about a miracle spice that had helped him sleep through the night again. "Just a pinch," the man said. "Before bed. I haven't gotten up once in weeks." Mr. Lee leaned over and asked, embarrassed, "What spice?" The man smiled. "Nutmeg. Real nutmeg, freshly ground. Not the kind in instant tea." That night, curious and desperate, Mr. Lee found a small jar of nutmeg powder in his kitchen, something his late wife had once used in baking. He took a tiny pinch, chewed it slowly, letting the warm, slightly bitter flavor spread across his tongue. It wasn't pleasant, but it wasn't terrible either. He went to bed expecting nothing. For the first time in months, he woke up and realized morning light was streaming through the curtains. 6 straight hours of sleep. He sat up, confused, waiting for the usual urge, but it never came. He laughed softly, almost afraid to believe it. He tried it again the next night, and the night after that. Each time, the same result: deep, uninterrupted sleep. By the fourth day, he felt years younger. The fog lifted. His hands stopped trembling from fatigue. He told his doctor, who frowned skeptically but couldn't explain it. "There's no clinical evidence for that," the doctor said. But when Mr. Zat Lee's blood pressure and pulse improved, the doctor muttered, "Whatever you're doing, keep it up." Word spread among his friends at the senior center. Some laughed, chewing spice like a goat, but a few tried it. Within a week, two of them reported the same result: deeper sleep, fewer bathroom trips. One woman said her restless legs had quieted down. Another said her anxiety before bed had disappeared. Soon, the center's evening tea gatherings smelled faintly of nutmeg instead of ginseng. A younger physician, intrigued by the stories, decided to investigate. He ran small, informal tests among volunteers. The results were surprising. Many who chewed just a pinch of nutmeg before bedtime experienced fewer nighttime urination urges, deeper REM cycles, and better morning alertness. "It's not a miracle," the doctor said, "but the compounds in nutmeg, especially myristicin and safrole, seem to calm the nervous system and reduce bladder overactivity. It's nature's mild sedative." The media got wind of it soon after. "Doctors shocked by simple spice fixing sleep problems," one headline read. Pharmacists began seeing older customers asking shyly, "Do you have pure nutmeg powder?" Supermarkets sold out within days. But behind the trend, Mr. Lee's quiet joy was simple. He could finally rest. He began to savor his evenings again. Instead of dreading the night, he'd sit by the window, sip warm water, chew a tiny pinch of nutmeg, and hum old songs. His dreams returned, vivid, gentle ones of walking with his wife through rice fields under moonlight. In the morning, he'd wake rested, smile at the sunlight, and brew coffee instead of collapsing from fatigue. Neighbors noticed the change. "You look younger," one said. "What's your secret?" "Just a spice," he laughed. "But maybe it's really the sleep." Scientists later found that nutmeg's compounds helped relax smooth muscles, reducing spasms in the bladder and promoting more stable sleep patterns. Too much, they warned, could be toxic, but a tiny pinch, less than half a gram, was safe and effective for most. Months later, during his annual checkup, Mr. Lee's doctor asked, "Still chewing your magic spice?" Mr. Lee nodded. "Every night?" The doctor smiled faintly. "Well, medicine keeps discovering what grandmothers already knew." That night, as Mr. Lee settled into bed, he thought about how something so small, a forgotten kitchen spice, could restore something so essential. Peaceful sleep, freedom from fatigue, a quiet reminder that nature still held secrets beyond pills and machines. He closed his eyes, breathing softly. For the first time in years, his nights were long, deep, and whole. And all it took was a pinch of nutmeg and a little faith in the ordinary.